Okay, thanks for joining us for the AEW Full Gear Virtual Media Scrum live from Daly's Place in Jacksonville. With us now, we have the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. And the first question will be from Jim Barcelone from the Miami Herald. He'll be followed by AJ from the AJ Awesome Show. Okay, Jim, you are up.
All right, congratulations, guys. Like the hats, by the way. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, this whole show was outstanding. I mean, even from the Serena Deeb match and the pre-show and all, and just going through it. You know, you guys are getting ready for your match, but are you able to watch some of it and just see how everybody's killing it? And how does that get you guys going and getting ready for your match?
Yeah, we had the television monitor on in the EVP office, and we watched the entire thing, and it was so encouraging to see everybody just going out there and killing it, and it really motivated us. And we were match 5, so there were so many good matches before us. We were looking at each other like, right, we really got to bring it tonight.
At some points, though, it actually becomes distracting because
right,
we're trying to focus on our match, but then you get so invested in the action that's going on.
Yeah, I got to grab Nick. I'm like,
oh, man.
Focus, pay attention, get your cloak, get your gear on.
And it brings a little, like, a lot of nerves because they're stealing the show, and
right,
you're like, wait a minute, I want to steal the show. We got to go out there and kill it. So
I'm so happy for everybody.
It was a great show.
Home run.
Very good show.
Home run.
Thanks. Okay, AJ, you are up.
Hello. Congratulations on the big win.
Thanks, AJ. Good to hear AJ's voice again.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
Since it's such a big win, what are your plans to celebrate after that big win?
Oh, man. You know what we're doing? We already had Brandon Cutler order 4 large pizzas for our room. We're about to go eat pizza, pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
And you'll see how we celebrated right after the match if you watch BTE this Monday. So we're probably going to celebrate a little bit more tomorrow when we fly home and see our families.
Yep.
Man, I can't wait to show my kids
I
the title.
I just recently found out that I basically having any type of dairy is poison to me. So I haven't eaten any dairy or cheese or anything in 3 months.
So you're going to be sick.
It's going to be ugly, but I deserve it. I think
Yeah,
I feel like it's time to celebrate. And
Yep.
AJ, it's so good to hear your voice. I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, we miss you, buddy.
Thanks. And next up is Stephanie Francombe from Steel Chair Wrestling from France. Stephanie?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, guys. Congratulations for this win.
Thank you.
It's 6 o'clock in France, so I'm a little loopy. But wanted to ask, winning this belt alongside all the belts that you have won in your career, what does it mean for you, winning these belts from this company that you built? Congratulations again, because it was a great match.
Thank you. First off, thanks so much for staying up all night with us and watching our show. It means so much.
Mm-hmm.
This is everything. This is the biggest accomplishment of our career.
Yep.
I didn't know that it would feel so special, as special as it does. It's hard to express.
I was crying.
I teared up. I'm not a very sentimental or emotional person as far as when it comes to wrestling. When it comes to family, I'm a baby. But it hit me when I heard the count of 3, and I had tears well up in my eyes. And it's just, it took so long. You know, this was really 2 years in the making. And it was surreal. And all the other titles, all the other accomplishments, they were huge. The IWGP Junior Tag Title, we won those 7 times. I think we were PWG champions 3 or 4 times, ROH champions 3 or 4 times. This was everything for me. This was like winning the Super Bowl.
It's hard to compare. Huh?
It really is.
It was so special.
AEW's our baby. So,
and we don't lie when we say that we have the best tag division in the whole world of wrestling. And we got such hard-hitting competition here. And Man, we were on a losing streak, a slump, if you will, for so long, and just to climb that hill and finally get what we deserved and what we wanted for so long.
Right.
It's just so happy.
And a lot of like what you saw throughout the year, it reflected our real life. Like the story was we really couldn't pull it off, and we just couldn't do it. But
Right.
you know, a lot of that was reality. A lot of that felt like us. Like maybe we weren't selling the same amount of merchandise that we once were. Maybe we weren't having the same matches that fans were used to us having. And so it felt real, and it was real.
It did. You know what? We actually had a conversation Wednesday after the wrestling private party, because if you remember, we had lost to them in a tournament match about a year ago. And last Wednesday, we wrestled them, we beat them, and after the match, Matt and I got to our locker room, and we said, man, we still got it.
Yeah.
We're still the best tag team in the world. Let's show the world this Saturday. And that was a huge confidence booster, and it gave us momentum riding into Saturday. And I feel like
That's
that
what we
was a
needed.
big reason. Yep.
That's what we needed.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. We've got Joel Torres from Contralona up next. Joel?
Hi guys, how are you? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
First of all, not only working with FTR, but working with Tully Blanchard. How does it feel, working with a legend like Tully Blanchard? And do you think that you had fulfilled everything in the pro wrestling business as a tag team?
Oh, wow. It's a good question.
I'll start
Mhm.
part one. Having guys like Tully, Malenko, Arn, it's unbelievable. Just being able to pick their brains, for them to come up to us with ideas. They come from a different era, and they've done this so much longer than all of us. So it's a knowledge that's endless. And Tully has been so great to have back here. It's funny because I used to sit back and watch the Rockers versus the Brain Busters, and having Tully and Arn here, it's so surreal. And a lot of what our match today, it was,
There's a lot.
it was a lot of that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of inspiration
Yeah.
from those matches. Being out there and doing it, it felt like I was, performing in one of those old matches I used to watch when I was a kid. So it was really cool. Is this the biggest thing we've ever done? Yeah, I think so. It's definitely my most proud that I've ever been. I can't really, like, the biggest thing in my real life that I can think of is having my children, getting married, winning the
I could
AEW
answer
tag
what's
titles.
next, though. Like,
Yeah, what is next?
it's to keep these championship belts,
Yeah.
obviously, and we want to have a hell of a tag run, so we don't want to lose them, obviously.
We don't want it to be a fluke. Like, we had a great match, we won them, and then nobody remembers our run.
Right.
Like, now it's time to put in the work. And
It was such a big moment tonight, so if we drop them Wednesday, that would be a nightmare.
we can't sit back and relax. We got to keep going now.
Yeah, our
pedal to the
goal is to
metal.
make it as big as possible. And when we started this company and we helped build this company, we always said tag team wrestling could be the main event. We proved that tonight, and that's probably one more goal that we would like to do is make the next pay-per-view or whenever the next Dynamite
And I
a
think
massive tag title match as a main event.
I think clearly, like, we should have a big main event, and I think that after tonight, there's a big rematch down the line. And I think
FTR, those guys are machines.
Yeah.
It was surreal being in the ring with those guys. Yeah, show those. Show those
we got 'em
titles.
right here.
Thank you.
Look at those beauties.
Yeah, speaking of, we got to get these
Sir,
nameplates off and put our names
guys.
on there. But you know what? I'll be honest, those guys are machines.
They're great.
It was insane getting in there with them. It felt like it was like a out of body experience wrestling those guys.
They
It
were
was
like
a dream.
aggressive and
Oh my
hard
God.
hitting. I told Nick afterward, they reminded me a lot of back in the day when we used to work guys like Roderick Strong
Right.
and Brian
Briscoe
Danielson and the
brothers.
Briscoes and
Yep.
Claudio and Chris Hero. It's that same rugged smash mouth style.
They're probably the best
bring
tag team I've ever been in the ring with.
Fantastic.
Thanks. And the last question is from Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful. Sean?
Hey guys, thanks for taking the time. Matt, we heard that you had, at least reportedly, a legitimate knee injury. How's that feeling? What process did you go through to get ready for tonight? And how will that affect you all? I mean, Nick just sat there and said it'd be a nightmare if you all lost these titles early, whether legitimate or it's just you being good at your job and making us think that it's legitimate. It seems to play a factor.
It's a very real injury that I've been dealing with. And it's been a rough year for me. Like, I come back after all that time off when we were on lockdown, and the first thing I do is I break my rib when I jumped out of the dugout.
Yeah.
And I dealt with that for a second, and that sucked. And then we did the Falls Count Anywhere match with Butcher and the Blade, and I decided it would be a good idea to jump off the entrance.
It was definitely your idea too.
To dive off the entrance set into a diving elbow through a table where there is only concrete, by the way. Not a good idea. For a while, I was walking around at home and having a hard time kind of hobbling around, and I thought I might have had a hairline fracture in my fibula or something. My amazing wife, who's also watching this, noticed that I was having a hard time getting around, and she had Dr. Sampson order me an MRI just to see what was going on. And turns out that it wasn't my fibula. It was actually soft tissue. And it was the back of my knee. It was my MCL. And it was diagnosed that after looking at the MRI, that I had a slight tear. Nothing at the time that
Your
needed
ACL
surgery.
too.
And then the most interesting part that I found about was they said that I had thinning of my ACL, which they also considered a slight tear. I haven't had any pain really in my ACL, just wear and tear. I remember thinking back, have I ever hurt my ACL? And I remembered back at maybe 2008, I banged up my knee and I had a hard time with it for a second. And that's the only time I could recall ever hurting my left knee in that area. So after talking to a couple of doctors, we're under the impression that the ACL may be a decade or older. And the MCL is brand new. It's something I've been dealing with. I've been rehabbing. I've been taping it before every match. And this was my 9th match, I believe, with the injury. And honestly, I felt pretty good with all things considered. And our medical staff is amazing. They would never send me out there if they weren't confident with me and how I felt. And I know my body as well. So all things considered, I felt...
You got an ankle issue too.
Now the ankle thing. But all things considered, I feel pretty good about it. The doctors feel pretty good about it. I'm going to take every precaution possible. And if it starts bothering me, we'll see what happens. I'll do the right thing. But I'm not too worried about it right now.